Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we're going to be re-looking at the Hoplite, or in my case, the Hoplite 3. I did a review of this quite a while ago, but it's kind of outdated now by my normal standards of reviews. I didn't do a breakdown or potential upgrade path, so yeah, let's get into it. So as always, the number after the name of the ship is the tier of the vessel. The higher the tier, the better the base stats. So for instance, this tier 3 version of the Hoplite has a B-class reactor with 27 power. A tier 2 might only have 24 power, and a tier 1 might only have 20 power. Aside from that, aesthetically, the ship will stay the same. So yeah, let's get into the review. So as you can probably tell, it's a Deimos vessel, hence the name and the shape of it. Deimos kind of goes for that kind of military gray with kind of blade-like or arrowhead-like design, which I kind of appreciate. I think they look really, really cool. It's, yet again, they have a habit of using these engines. I feel like it makes me think those engines weren't intended to be on the ship, because they're a different color entirely. So, stat-wise, got a fuel of 800, which is really, really high. I don't know what it is about these Deimos vessels. They all seem to have quite high, the combat ones I should say, have quite high fuel. Which is from a gameplay point of view, or from a lore point of view, if you're making combat vessels, usually they're going to stick close to fleet, the rest of the fleet, so they don't really need to have a lot of fuel. But anyway, 800 fuel, pretty nice. It's got a hull of almost 1,943, which is quite decent for a B-class. It's not too bad. Cargo capacity of 200, again, it's quite low. I'm assuming that's all just from the cockpit. Got a B-class reactor with 27 power. That's kind of low on the power management. See, it's kind of weird with a lot of these kind of ships, because tier 3 vessels only start to appear probably around level 50 to 60. But the reactor's currently rocking is 27 power. The best B-class reactor you can get is 39, and there's quite a few that sit around 35, so it's just weird that Bethesda kind of chose to go with a weaker reactor. It's got a crew of 5, which is quite good. We could probably boost it up to 6 if we get some turret weapons on it and stuff. It's got a jump range of 30 light years, which is really, really good. The fuel and the jump range, you could definitely kind of use it as a long range, bounty hunting vessel. It's got shields of 830, which, again, is quite low. The Vanguard shield, which is the exact same version of that shield, only black, is 1450. So we could definitely slap that on. And then for weapons, it's got laser weapons, ballistic, and missiles. Laser weapons are both mounted there on the spine, dual pair of them. It's got a single turreted ballistic underneath. That's a weird place for a turreted weapon. It's got very little degrees of fire. And then it's got a missile launcher on the back. The price of this vessel for me is 166,577. Now, your price may vary depending on the perks and the tier. If you get a tier 1 version, it's going to be substantially cheaper. But yeah, let's purchase it. So I got this off my boy Nikau here. I just gave you 166 grand. You should not be sorry. Got this off my boy here, Nikau. We are in the Deimos Star Yard. Deimos Star Yard is, here it is. It's orbiting Deimos, which in turn is orbiting Mars there. You can almost always get this ship here. If it's not here, I would recommend going to Mercury, landing on Mercury, waiting 24 hours in-game on Mercury, and that will reset all of the vendors' inventories, and then just come back and try again. So we're going to go to our usual spot now to take a look at the vessel. Alright, so here we are in the usual spot. Getting a nice little glamour shot. As you can see from the design, it's very Deimos, with its kind of making use of those wings and those strut pieces. Really wish you could put those strut pieces underneath, flip them, but sadly you can't. They've kind of opted for a more, kind of a broader, wing base, which kind of makes me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the longsword from Halo, or the short sword, depending on if you played Halo Wars as well. They're kind of similar, which I quite like. This is kind of one of the issues I have with this game, the customization options, is they give us cool pieces. Those winglets are very, very cool, but they're quite small. Like, if you ever wanted to make, like, a proper winged fighter, you know, like a realistic, how, like, real modern jets have very, like, long wings, it's very tricky to do, because most of the winglets are stubby. Now, it makes sense, because in space you don't need aerodynamics, but, you know, it'd be nice. Anyway, so we're going to enter. So, entry through the front, which is nice. Got some windows on this ship, which is going to be interesting. Be interesting to see what the interior is like. One of the last ships I did from Deimos, it was like a combat vessel, and it had like 200 cargo, but it had a cargo room in it, a 3x3, and I'm like, what are you doing, Bethesda? Ooh, lost stuff. So we've got a Deimos entryway. Up we go. The naming, the Hoplite, that is the standard infantry in ancient Greece. They have the big shield and the spear. Alright, so immediately we have 1x1 companionway from Deimos. And we've got leading up there, so we'll go where he went first. So in here we have another 1x1. I believe this is a storage room. Yeah, it's a storage room. Don't know why that's there, but it is what it is. And then we've off to the side here we have a 3x1 all-in-one berth, I believe. Got a nice view here of the starboard side. Got some bunk beds here.
Like a lot.
Thanks, Cora. Yeah, got some beds. No toilet, I don't think. The toilet could have been removed from the window placement. We got a galley that works, but it's a bit finicky. And we have some tables here. Don't mind the Deimos look at, like, the layout. It's kind of nice. Based on the Stroud Eklund one, or vice versa. And then we have, okay, we have another engine room. So they've went with 2 3x1s on this outside, which is pretty interesting. You got a window on the port side, and then we have a lot of machinery. The thing is, I like engine rooms from like a roleplay point of view, but from a gameplay point of view, they do absolutely nothing. Like, it'd be kind of cool if they made it so that each habitat module did something. Like, imagine if you have an engine room, it increases your repair ability by like 100%, so you basically repair twice as fast. Stuff like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna double check. Is there a door there? No, there's not. Okay, cool. And then you come back this way, and there is another. We have, oh nice, okay, we have got a control room here for your crew. Now, as per Deimos, something pretty interesting. So the Deimos and Stroud Eklund share the same like layout of their ships interior, similar to how Tayo and Hopetech are similar. But Deimos removed the chairs here. I don't know if that was intentional. I think that's kind of hilarious that Deimos like, nope, no chairs for you. Anyway, that's the bridge there. We're gonna go upstairs real quick just to see. I think that's just a 1x1. Yeah, it is. So up here we just, oh no. Okay, we got a 1x1. I think this is a companionway with a docking port there, and then this is another. Oh no, okay, cool. Captain's quarters up here. Nice. Got a little table here. No chair though, because, you know, who needs to sit on Deimos vessels? Got a chair here. Nice little desk. The world's most uncomfortable bed. Also, I don't know, like, if that parrot is a pareidolia sent in? That looks like a face to me. That just freaked me out. Right now. And then we got the navigation console. I really like these. I like the fact that you can, like, activate them and, you know, like, fly from there. It's pretty cool. Pretty nice feature. And then we have another window. Nice little view there. And then another window here. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so now we're going to head back down, and we're going to take this bad boy for a fly. So I don't know why. Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I hope you're
So
having a good day.
you can't cut through there. I'm not sure if, like, if you can't put a doorway here because of this computer. It's kind of annoying. I know whenever I try to make my own ships and, like, I place them down in the habitats in the order I want, they just kind of tend to put ladders everywhere. Anyway. So we have, I don't mind this cockpit. I've said it a few times. Like, it's a really cool cockpit, but it just feels very, like, small. Like, it's, like, tied to, like a single-seat fighter as opposed to, like, you know, like a combat vessel. And then we have a couple of jump seats here. This was kind of one of the reasons, like, I used to love playing Elite Dangerous, but one thing that always got me with Elite Dangerous is every ship, no matter how big it is, it just feels like it's, like, you know, one-person crew, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I personally like ships to, you know, like, require a larger crew. Like, you know, you have your weapons officers, your navigators, your, you know, your shields people, you know. Alright. Still don't understand. That turret placement is very strange. I'm already seeing some potential upgrades if we move something forward. As always, though, with these reviews, I have a perk that increases my power by 5. So for the purpose of this review, I'm not going to be using 5 power, which doesn't seem like a problem anyway, because we have more than enough power. So weapon-wise, we've got those dual lasers there. Turreted ballistic weapon that cannot be fired. Single missile there, not too bad. Quick speed test is probably going to be around 140. Yeah, 140. It's using B-class engines. Boost a little bit. Too bad. Okay. Boost speed's 520. A quick agility test. Pitch up. Okay, pitches quite decently. Mobility's clearly there. It's probably like a 7 or an 8. The yaw, a little bit slower, but still quite good. I'd say that's like a 6 or 7. And then the roll's pretty nice. Alright, so we're going to head to back to Deimos, just so we can do the teardown and do some potential upgrades. Alright, so here we are in the teardown. So we have split it into 3 sections. We'll start off at the top here. So we have the DS 10.1 Phobos cockpit from Deimos, 200 cargo and 2 crew station. Now, if you are planning on using this vessel and you want to increase, because this is the weakest of the cockpits. Let me see. Cockpits. Yeah, so like weirdly, so using this cockpit, it's like 3 times expensive, and it gives you the same. No, it gives you 2, so an extra 80 cargo, which isn't really worth it for the mass. It's kind of weird. Kind of wish it'd give you more hull, but sadly it does not. And then back here we have the Aurora 13G grav drive from Deep Core, B class, 10 max power, 33 grav jump thrust, which is really, really good, and that gives us 30 range, which is phenomenal. Weapons here, we have mounted on these Horizon weapon mounts. We have 2 Torch 250 megawatt UV lasers from Lightside, B class, 1500 range, 2.5 fire rate, 11 hull, and hull doesn't matter for shield. Sorry, 38 shield damage and 4 power. Not bad, but they're a bit power hungry, which isn't a problem if you have a good reactor, but currently it does not. And then for the shield, we have the Osiris 2030B shield generator from Protectorate Systems, B class, 8 power, 830 shield. Now, if you are a fan of the UC and you're rocking a ship like this, you probably have done the Vanguard quest line up to the point where you can unlock the second best shield in the game, this bad boy, so I would immediately just slap this on. It's a little bit more expensive price-wise, but it doesn't require any perks, which is just really, really nice. And then next we have the Hunter Mag 350 missile launcher from Horizon Defense. It's a B class, 4500 range, 1 fire rate, 57.74 damage, hull and shields, and 3 power. And then underneath we have this single turreted KE-42 auto cannon, or cannon turret from Ballistic Solution Incorporated, B class, 1800 range, 2.5 fire rate, 45 hull damage, and 4 power. Now, as much as I like the look of the turret, and I have been known to make ships, choose weapons purely based on their aesthetics, ballistic turreted weapons are probably the worst turreted weapons in the game, just because if you're in combat, you want to be able to deal damage to shields at first, and then if not, deal damage to both. So I would say particles are the best, and then lasers are kind of second best, and then yeah. But I suppose if you have a build where you can strip shields very quickly, it's not a huge issue. Now, for some of the other habitat modules, we have these Deimos Companionway 1x1 with a 100 DP Docker top, and then we have another Deimos Captain's Quarters. Now, something that's kind of weird that I've noticed Deimos does a lot, and I don't know why. So they have a Docker that is literally this. Why do they feel the need to... Unless you can't, maybe you can't move in this one? That's interesting. Never dawned on me why. I'm assuming it's probably because there's no interior to this. But, yeah. And we have the captain's quarters, we've got 2 windows. And we've got 2 of these fuel tanks, the H3 Atlas Helium-3 tanks, 400 each. don't know how I feel about putting the fuel tanks right next to the captain's quarters, but that's just me. And then for the aesthetic pieces, we have 2 of these Deimos Spine A4, 1 on each side. We have 2 of these Spine Bs, and then 2 more of the Spine A facing backwards. We have the Deimos Cowling 4. We have another Deimos Spine A4. We have a Deimos Radiator. We have my favorite, the Deimos Tail A. And then we have 2 portholes there and there. And that's it for that part. And then in the middle of the vessel, we have the Deimos Control Station 2x1, the Deimos All-in-One Berth 3x1, and the Deimos Engineering Bay 3x1. And then 2 of these companionways, a companionway and a storeroom. So, I'm not a huge fan of these, just because I don't really see the appeal of them. I mean, if you want to keep the all-in-one berth, you can. So what I'd recommend doing, because the layout of the vessel, so we're going to be modifying the ship slightly. So I'm going to put this, I'd remove this, and we're going to put this back here. And then we're going to put a workshop, because it's nice having a workshop, and the workshop will connect to that, which we'll show you in a minute. And then the thing is, I'd keep the all-in-one berth because it's just handy to have. It gives you 2 extra passenger, but I'd get rid of this. And I'd replace it with either an armory or potentially like an infirmary. And then just have like a 1x1 here. Just a standard companionway, just to kind of get the job done. Which when we do the tear, when we do like the upgrade, I might actually leave that open because I might put something in there, but for the moment we'll see anyway. Just gonna put them back the way they were. Perfect. Alright, and then we have engines here. We have 2 of these Nova 1040 engines, a Relodyne B-Class, 3 max power, 20,190 engine thrust, and 4,200 maneuvering thrust. Now, I don't know why they do this, but the Nova 1040 is not the best engine for that tier. There is the 1050, which I don't know why they didn't just slap them on. Would give us a little bit more mobility. But yeah, I don't know. Bethesda, good job. And then for the reactor, we have the DC-302 fast ignition reactor from Deepcore, B-Class, 27 power. Obviously, there is far better reactors. I recommend putting on probably this bad boy here. B-Class, same profile, 39 power, so we're getting an extra 12 power. And it's about twice as expensive, and it requires Starship Design 4 and Piloting 3 instead of 3 and 3 in each. But it's just, you know, you can't go wrong with it. And then for the porthole, for the structural pieces, we have 2 Deimos braking engines, 2 Deimos wings, starboard and port, and then 2 portholes on each side. And then on the bottom of the vessel, we have the 120 LD landing bay. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 320 CB landing gear from Deimos. And then for the structural pieces, we have 2 of these Deimos Skeg A's and a Deimos hull piece. So we're going to put the vessel back together, and we're going to start getting to work on upgrades. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to replace the shield with a better shield and the reactor with a better reactor. So we're going to do that. Yes, I'm well aware we have no power. And then go for our shields. Slap that there. Perfect. We're going to take the weapons off for now, and we'll get to them in a minute. Now, one of the first things I would recommend doing is we're going to, like I was saying underneath, we're going to move this forward. Now, you could technically put that there. There would be no clipping. Let me see how that looks. So if you want to do this, you basically have to, you go to place it, and you flip, and then flip it back, and then let go of it. Okay, that works perfect. And that looks kind of decent. Now, underneath here, we have, so remember I was saying we have the workshop up top. So we're going to, this Deimos whole piece we're going to get rid of, and we're going to remove these. Oh, did I remove a captain's quarters? No, 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 I'm not supposed to do that. There we go. Okay, we're going to remove the storeroom and this 1x1. And we're going to put the control station back further. And then we're going to duplicate, and we're going to put the workshop there. So when you enter immediately, you got the workshop. Now, we have a lot of space down here, so we'll potentially fill that up in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the reactor and slap that bad boy there. And then I'm going to do the same with the grav drive. We're going to try and hide these as much as we can. I'm going to slap this there for the time being. Now, up on top, so the way this is laid out is a little bit funky. So what I'm going to do, we're going to keep the docker for the moment. We're going to move this forward like so. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move this like so. We're going to get rid of these pieces. We'll keep the captain's quarter up on top. Like so. Let me see. So what I might actually do is I might put the docking port underneath. So we shall... How does that look up there? That looks lovely. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the engine here. And I'm going to get a 1x1. The reason I'm putting the docking port underneath is because it kind of keeps it out of the way. And it also, it just looks nicer. So we're going to put this 1x1 under here. And then we're going to see if we can slap the docker on the bottom. Can we? What's the error? Okay, that's fine. Alright, and then... so we'll put these windows back here. 2 sets of windows, because you know we want the captain to see everything that shoots at him. Where did that window go? Hello? Oh, there. And then we're going to delete that. Now we're basically kind of making the ship slightly shorter. So we're gonna grab this whole section and just pull it back like so. Perfect, like that. Now, so next, the engines. I don't mind the engines, but we're gonna work on it a little bit. Kind of like having those double there. So if we were, let me see, if we were to just put the better engines, how would they look? Engines. Being a B class, we have, where are you? Perfect. So yeah, so the main difference between the 40 and the 50 is we get an extra 300 maneuvering thrust and an extra 2,000 total thrust, which is quite nice. I don't mind how they look there. I'm going to remove these windows down at the bottom. Just because. And then we're going to work on some structural pieces. It's because we got to make it look nice. I just passed structural pieces. I want to try and like accentuate the shape of like how it's like currently, like the layout of it. Can I put that there? No, we gotta not that. Go from that. Where are you? There we go. This bad boy here, like so. And then, see, I would like to add another kind of extension like so. But that would require... Okay, we're going to try. So ideally, if we were going to do that, we'd have to change the engines. Do we have any engines with snap points on the side? I like these engines, but what's the main difference? How do these look? These don't actually look too bad. I've used these engines quite a bit, but I quite like how the kind of the style of them. I'm just trying to see what I would need to kind of place there too. This is where it gets a little tricky, because you're basically trying to like find pieces that snap to other pieces. I feel like I'm not going to be able to get a piece that will snap to it. No, we're not. We've used these engines already on another kind of build. I feel like we want to keep it a little bit different. We could. What about? Maybe. Oh, okay, man. We'll remove the fuel tanks for the moment. We're going to... whoops. Going to slap them there. Kind of slightly bothers me that I can't slap another one on that side. Oh, wait a minute. We might be able to make something work. Let me see. Can I put this there? Can this snap to that? Oh, it can. Haha, I'm a genius. I'm telling you guys I'm a genius. No, right, so we're gonna keep that profile the way it is. But I'm going to use these bumpers from earlier. Come on. I know you're there. There you go. We need some of these. Like so. Perfect. And then another one. That side. What's the error? Please don't tell me the ship. No, we're good. Okay. And then let's put this back here like so. That's looking pretty good so far. Got those big beefy engines. Now I am going to... We're going to need to add some like greebling on the top. I'm going to double that down just because I like having the two tails there. What's the error? Okay, yeah, ship needs fuel tank. That's fine. So for the fuel tank, we'll use some of those fuel tanks, but let's see if we can like slap them somewhere like less dangerous looking. So these ones here. So I'm gonna use these ones here, these smaller ones. Snap points underneath. Oh, okay, maybe not. Interesting. That's the only snap point. What about the Old Faithful? Where are you? Okay, so I'm going to potentially merge them in. So we're gonna see if this guy goes up there. Alright, so we're gonna see what it looks like. We're gonna keep the fuel there. And the reactor. Okay, so we can put it inside the reactor. It looks a bit funky, but it's not necessarily a huge deal. Now we could obviously move the landing gear back a bit, which is probably fine. Yeah, so if you want to go this route of using the landing gear, you're more than welcome to, like doing it this way. But I want to snap this in here. So in order to do that, we're going to put this back here, and then in order to get it to work, we're going to have to briefly remove this, and briefly remove that, and we're just going to slide this in here like so, and then we duplicate, and it will snap down like that. We put this back in like so, and then now we have, okay, is 3 slightly overkill? 3 is slightly overkill, isn't it? Yeah, 3 is slightly overkill. Well, actually, maybe. No. So if you don't, like I said, if you don't like that, you don't have to go that route. You can obviously just, put it out more, but I just like hiding it slightly. We're going to work on the weapons next. For the weapons, we're going to go with the simple. We're going to go with some of these Vanguard auto projectors. We're going to mount. What are you trying to snap to even? I don't know what that was snapping to. We're going to get 2 on each side, like so. And then, let me see. So for our secondary weapons, going to go with, we'll go with some missile launchers. What's the main difference? Okay, we'll go with some of these bad boys. And we will put them, yeah, like that there, kind of sitting more front. We're gonna go with 2 sets of weapons for this currently, just because I feel like we don't need that much. Like, those particles cannons are like slightly overpowered. And then this, see, the texturing, I don't really like the how far this sticks out. We need to work on some structuring on the back, so I'm gonna briefly pause here and just fiddle with it and see what I can come up with. Alright, so we're back, so I fiddled with it. So basically what I did is I removed the bumpers, and I moved, these were originally here, and I moved them forward one. I placed some of these Deimos wing pieces, and then I used some of these backwards wing A's just to kind of snap to it. I also added these pieces up on top here, just because I wanted to add two more guns, and I kind of wanted to hide that slightly. So these, you have to do little techniques. You just basically flip it, and then it'll snap. And surprisingly, there's very little clipping there. It's like completely fine. And then just same on the other side. You just basically flip it. Like so. And then I added two more of these like wing E's. Something that's kind of weird is, so there's a piece that slants in, but it doesn't actually connect to anything, which is kind of annoying. This piece doesn't like match up properly, but I still put it in there just because I think it looks okay. And then we went with, we're just going to put two of these weapons here, like so. And then what I did was, what else did I do? Oh yeah, I'm just going to really quickly, I'm going to hide the shield, because I like hiding the shield. Now, this has no effect on anything whatsoever, because the enemies don't, like, I don't know, the way the enemy attacks you is kind of, like, random. Like, you can obviously make ships to kind of exploit, like, the AI shooting for the center, but hiding the shield doesn't really do much. Your shield still drop. So the way we do this is we just basically put it down and flip it and let go of it, and boom, perfect. Now, we're going to move this forward a little bit. Going to add some more spinal pieces, just, you know, to make it look nice. Like so. And I like having this radiator on top because it makes it look like it works with the grav drive. I kind of wish I could flip the grav drive, to be honest. And then, see, Deimos, like, there's a lot of pieces missing. Now, I've seen someone commented saying, like, that there's, like, pieces, like, in the game files. I don't know if, like, that's the case, if, like, there is actually pieces that have just been kind of removed or not, but if that's the case, that's kind of infuriating. I'm also going to move these back a little bit, just to the middle. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, you've got more than enough power that if you wanted to add like a third set of weapons, you definitely could. You could also like add. Let me see if I have any pieces to. Is there not one of these? Oh, there it is here. Okay. What does this look like if I put this there? It looks okay. What if I did that? What does that look like? Nah, it looks a bit too funky. I'm gonna put this here. Just looks nice. It looks like it's holding it up. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, this is just a suggestion. You don't have to do this. I'm just kind of showing you, you know, like ways you can improve on the ship. I would recommend though upgrading the weapons and the reactor and stuff. And yeah, let me know how many of you guys are rocking like UC ships. I know a lot of people, like, once you discover the ship builder, you're like, I don't want to buy ships. I want to make ships, you know, like make them your own. But be interested to see how many of you guys like just fly, like, you know, purchase ships. Because I know a few people have said that they only really fly, you know, the ships the game has built for them. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content, and check out some of my other videos. Bye-bye.